What is up, everybody? My name is BobaTalks and welcome back to a brand new Flash Season 4 trailer breakdown. Now, this is the trailer breakdown for episode 5 titled Girls Night Out, and a very special thing about this episode is that this episode debuts Katie Sackhoff's Blacksmith character, or should I say Arminette, or the other way around, Arminette aka Blacksmith. So before we get into this breakdown, guys, let's go ahead and watch the trailer.
Bachelor party! Girls, get out!
Thank you guys for coming.
You're gonna need to walk this off.
Or run it off because I'm the Flash.
Did you girls order a stripper?
Take it off. I meant take off your pants, not your eyes.
Have we heard from the guys yet?
What did you just do? I swing got peanuts from a bar.
The Flash, all new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central.
So as always, this was a pretty quick trailer and there wasn't too much to it, but there was a bit of Blacksmith in it, which made it all worthwhile for me personally. And to be honest, we got a very good shot of her actually using her powers. But before I actually run through the trailer breakdown, let's get a look at what the synopsis says so we can see what's in store for next week's episode. Caitlin receives an ominous threat from her old boss, Arminette, and fears her past time as Killer Frost may be back to haunt her. Meanwhile, Felicity comes to Central City to help the girls celebrate Iris's bachelorette party, and Cisco, Joe, and the guys take Barry out for a night on the town. Now immediately what opens up this episode is that special kind of club where some people like to go on their bachelor parties, and that looks like where Team Flash, or should I say the guys of Team Flash, will be spending their time for the majority of this episode. But let's jump into Cisco coming in the door, and obviously they're all like, you know, a happy bachelor party. I'm pretty intrigued to know as to what he's carrying into the house. I'm pretty sure it might have something to do with what he's got planned for the bachelor party, since this is Cisco, effectively Barry's best friend. So it definitely looks like some kind of equipment or technology. I'm hoping that it is something that will make Barry drunk, or something that they can use to make Barry drunk, since obviously we know that a speedster, you know, metabolizes things a ton more faster than either you or me, so they effectively can't get drunk without a bit of special help from someone like Caitlin or Cisco. So I've got a little inkling that whatever Cisco's got here will help him make a special kind of alcoholic beverage for our Barry Allen. And I feel like initially, compared to the guy's introduction at the beginning of the trailer, where it's like Cisco saying, you know, happy bachelorette party, you got Harry coming in looking surprisingly happy compared to his normal, like, brooding, grumpy self. And then in the girls, we've got, you know, Iris saying to Cecile and, well, everyone, you know, thank you for coming. And it looks kind of formal and civilized before it all goes wrong for them because of Norvok. Now, as I said right at the beginning, with Cisco probably coming up with something that will knock Barry off his ass, I'm pretty sure that that orange vial-y kind of drink is Barry's drink, because we also see him holding it up, and I'm pretty sure it's different from what everyone else is holding in terms of shots, because that is his special insanely high, you know, alcoholic beverage, which will absolutely knock him flat off his feet, as we see later on in this trailer. So it's nice to see that they're most likely not ignoring facts like this in the show, but at the same time, you know, I've kind of been reminded of Harrison Wells being out in public again, and, you know, a big part of season 3 was the face changing technology and how HR could wander around without being recognized as being Harrison Wells, yet they've seemed to have completely dismissed that this season, since Harry's already been on the streets, I believe, a couple of times already, and there definitely would be someone who recognizes him, but they just seem to be ignoring that. So I just wish they were a bit more on top of that with everything else, like they are seeming to be with this alcohol that Barry is taking in this episode. But with the Flash's new tone this season being quite a lot of humor, I feel like this episode is going to be a very, very good one for that. Just because of its theme being obviously a bachelor and bachelorette party, it's going to be pretty funny to see Joe, Harry, Cisco, and Barry, and then the girls do their thing in this episode. I'm obviously looking forward to the guys most of all. I just think it's going to be hilarious seeing Cisco and Harry drunk, especially Barry, who seems to probably be the most drunk, to the point where we see him in this trailer after Joe says, I think you need to wash this off or something, and then Barry's like, oh, run it off because I'm the Flash. I don't know how I feel about that, but obviously most of the comedy will come from Barry, since it is his bachelor night after all, and he needs something pretty powerful to knock him off his feet, so I guess stuff like this makes sense for him to blurt out if he's that smashed. I don't know, let me know what you think of that in the comments. Now, as for Ralph being invited to this bachelor party, I'm kind of confused a little bit. Obviously, Barry at the end of the latest episode kind of invited him to join Team Flash and help him grow his powers, train him, all that good stuff. But I don't know. It's just like, just because you've just invited him to the team, does that mean you really know him well enough to go out on a bachelor night? I kind of thought that with their history as well and how they weren't majorly keen on each other, that he wouldn't be invited to this, but he's coming along. I guess, you know, you could argue they put their differences aside, but even with that said, I'm still surprised that, you know, he's coming to Barry's night. But I don't know. I'm sure it would still be a great addition to the night. But in terms of just logic, I guess, you know, they've just pushed everything aside and he's just on the ins of Team Flash already. But with the choice of location for Barry's party, Ralph seems to be really enjoying himself. And now switching back around to the girls' side of the night, it seems that Novak comes to the table and Iris seems to think that he's a stripper, up until Novak pops out his eye and then seemingly seems to attack all the girls. I'm not sure. Obviously he's after Caitlyn since he already knows her as Killer Frost. It seems that Caitlyn isn't really all frosted out, if that makes sense, as Killer Frost at this part. She seems to be the one to flip up the table as they're all kind of taking cover from Novak, and we even see Iris being the one to swing her handbag at him. But interestingly enough, as I was slowing this down, it seems we may have found out what Novak's metahuman ability is, and it seems like the reason why he popped his eye out in that drink is because just as Iris hits him with the handbag here, we can see that Novak has this really weird squiddy tentacly thing, and it seems to be pretty sharp as well, swaying out of his eye socket. So I'm thinking that is what, I don't know, his metahuman ability is, if he even is a metahuman, which I'm willing to bet since he obviously already knows Blacksmith, or should I say Armanette, and Killer Frost, so the odds were that he was to be a metahuman. But I don't know, is this metallic or is it, you know, fleshy? I got a feeling it might be, because also in this other shot here we could see that it sort of separates into feelers, if you will. So I don't know, let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below in relation to Novak's weird eye squiddy thing. Next up, we see that Barry is talking to the person I believe he told earlier on in the trailer that he was the Flash, jokingly, but not jokingly at the same time. Then we see Cecile in a club scene, which we're also in the promo photos as well, asking if they've heard from the guys yet. And then in this shot, we actually get to see our first proper look at Katie Sackhoff's Blacksmith using her powers to seemingly bring up this shield. Now, if you guys didn't already know, her powers kind of stem from the comics to be able to sort of fuse metal and flesh. So obviously, as we see her here, she's kind of brought out this metal shield out of nowhere. And in this other shot as well, which we get towards the very end of the trailer, we see that she's kind of got this metal sort of glove, or should I say gauntlet, which then proceeds to fire out these kind of shrapnel shots, or should I don't know if they're mini daggers or what, but they're coming straight out of her hand, glove, metally thingy, my bobby. I have to say, the demonstration of her powers in this trailer look absolutely awesome. I've got a feeling that she's bringing up this shield because maybe Killer Frost, or should I say Caitlyn Frost, is sending icicles towards her, and then she's deflecting them, and then Blacksmith is going to send her own projectile straight back towards the girls, or maybe Killer Frost will just freeze them off, who knows, but we're going to have to wait and see until the episode airs. Judging by the message that Caitlyn received on her door at the end of last episode, I'm willing to bet that it said "we miss you" from Blacksmith, and because she's still not coming back, she's going to interrupt the girls' night out, and that's how all this stuff unfolds. But I'd love to know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below. The only thing I kind of left out right towards the end there is Barry speeding towards the bar to get some peanuts, which he did within the blink of an eye. You could barely tell that he went. But either way, guys, this trailer actually looked pretty fun. I'm looking forward to the episode, mainly looking forward to what the guys get up to, you know, more Harry Cisco moments. Barry making a fool of himself because he's going to be knocked off his ass through whatever Caitlyn or Cisco conjure up with in terms of alcohol. And then obviously the main event for me, which I'm looking forward to, is Blacksmith, Katie Sackhoff, and seeing those badass powers of her come out in the episode. And I think it's just going to be absolutely brilliant to see her in action, because she's just a brilliant actor, a very strong female kind of lead character, and I'm just so glad that she's going to be this kind of leader of metahumans and total badass here in a few episodes this season, but initially next week, so be sure not to miss out on next week's episode, guys, because it's going to be pretty cool. But that's all from this trailer breakdown, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by hitting that like button. It really does show your support for the channel, and if you want to stay a bit more up to date with me personally, you can do so by following me on social media. The link should be popping up on the screen around here. here, or you can click on one of the links in the description below to follow me on a social media of your choice. Be sure to subscribe if you're new and if you enjoyed this video for more Flash or DC TV content in general. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.